Ladies and gentlemen, do you guys need a stretch after Hertzberg's lecture? You okay? Man, that guy can, and this was a PG version of his presentation. I just want you to all to realize that. I am really honored to be here. You heard in the introduction, my name is Malia. I represent the entire state of California. And Bob, you are right, California is poised to close in, pushing out Germany to be the fourth largest economy in the world. And that is, I couldn't agree more with your sentiment and your enthusiasm when it comes to California, how forward-thinking she is, how she embraces diversity, and more importantly, how she knows how to make money. So, I am the other half of the fiduciary female dynamic team that runs the state of finances for the state of California. You already know the treasurer, Fiona Ma. She is in charge of money coming into the state of California, deep relationships with banks. She does a lot of investing. I am responsible for money going out. So that means I write the checks. So a lot of people pay attention and sit up when I start talking, because they're interested. They want to know, how can they do business with the state of California? And I think that is a great question, and I hope to be able to answer some of the questions. So thank you, Fee, for giving me an opportunity to come and present myself and some ideas about what makes California so remarkable and so great. I want to just also recognize the leadership team that has brought all of us together. Thank you. This is not an easy thing to do, a convening in a forum like this. So first, I want to just level set and just talk a little bit more in depth about what the state controller does, what her role may be. Now, you guys remember Betty Yee? She was my predecessor. She was the former state controller, and I was just elected in 2022. But the controller's job manages public funds, and these public funds are ensuring that they are to the benefit of all people and all programs for the state of California. As I am a financial steward for the fourth largest economy in the world. My entire team, which is about 1,600 people, they oversee the state's finances. They manage the accounting, the auditing, the payroll system, the disbursement systems, vendors, local governments, and then did I mention that we manage the audits? These are statewide audits for expenditures. So expenditures, you know, is a fancy way of just saying the bills. Audits, you guys are all business people. You know what an audit is. If you don't, come see me over here. I'll give you a tutorial, a crash course. I'll come in and audit your business if you'd like, and really show you how it's done. I've got 274 auditors just chomping at the bit, ready to go. In the bio, you also heard that I sit on 70 different boards and commissions, and as well as financing authorities. So my job really is to provide direction, guidance, and approval in making sure that the tax dollars are spent appropriately. I've made it my priority to make sure that all of the funds that the state of California is distributing is going in places that serve all Californians. And it is our belief that you shouldn't need a lawyer or a lobbyist to interact with state government. So we make it easy for everyone so that everyone can thrive in the state. Now, today is a really interesting day. Do you know what today is? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is May Revise Day. And do you know what that means? We're just budget nerds. I mean, I know Fiona knows what it means. I know Bob knows what it means. Anyone that's dealing with the state budget knows that today is the day that Governor Newsom presents or unveils or reveals his budget. In this case, his budget cuts. And so this is a very precarious budget situation that we find ourselves in. And he has made several suggestions, cuts that need to be made on top of already $17 billion that of cuts that the governor has already found. Now marks the dance, the very delicate dance that the governor's office does with the state legislature as they hammer out what programs are going to get cut, what and who is basically not going to get any services. So now that's the ugly side. I want to paint a little bit of a rosier picture, or maybe rosy is not the correct words, but let's say it's a balanced perspective about what life is like, the economic life and vitality of here in the state. And you know, I'll be very frank, other states do wish that they could be us. We have a huge budget. We are incredibly wealthy. We have revenue streams that are steady, that are coming in. California, we should be be very proud of ourselves because we have an economy that is expanding. And we offer good paying jobs across the entire state. And not only are these quality jobs, but we're also bringing in brand new industries. And that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. So in California, we are creating the blue economy. Now, I know you probably have heard of the green economy, but are you familiar with the blue economy? No. Okay. Well, the blue economy is just harnessing the power of the resources of the ocean. And one of those 70 boards that I sit on the Coastal Commission. And so we are stewards of the state resources. So looking at how offshore wind can be a commodity and a resource that can be part of our local economy. And this is very careful because we don't want to disrupt the natural green economy, which is developing new technologies to limit and reduce harmful carbon emissions. So if anyone knows the treasurer, you know that she is a pro person in favor, a staunch supporter of the bullet train that we are feverishly working to get on board here in our great state. But speaking in line with that, we have created the electrification economy. That is an economy leading the nation in electric batteries, which you heard some discussion about earlier today, the adoption of electric vehicles, and most importantly, modernizing these infrastructures that support these transportation vessels. So I want to make sure that we don't forget about California's leadership in some of the more traditional industries, such as high tech, where we are leading the country in the world with our development and our deployment of AI and AI products. And then, of course, we have been leaders in other critical industries such as entertainment, which is really strong down here in Southern California, national defense, and manufacturing. Those three, national defense and manufacturing, have really been the lifeblood that have sustained the state of California for the last year when the entertainment industry was on strike due to the writers' strike. I also want to note that California continues to be the largest and most diverse, and I'm going to add resilient, tourist economy in the United States. She is coming back. When you look at the tourist numbers of the San Francisco Bay Area, we are coming back to great numbers, besting our pre-pandemic numbers. We are number one in the nation for tourism spending. We're number one in the nation for new business startups, as well as number one in access to venture capital and funding. So if you were thinking about investing in California, I hope my presentation seals the deal. Get on board, come join us. We're number one in manufacturing, high-tech innovation and employment, as well as agricultural innovation. I mean, to quote Donald Trump, this is a lot of number ones. This is a lot of number ones. I don't know. I'm not tired of winning. But I also want to show that last year's population increase in California also shows that people across the nation and the globe continue to pursue that California dream, just like Bob Hertzberg said. So don't believe Fox News, ladies and gentlemen. It's safe to be in California. You will thrive here. Your business will thrive here. So when you take all of these facts that I just threw out here, that is what makes California an economic powerhouse that will soon surpass Germany, becoming the fourth largest economy in the world. Now that we've kind of taken this high-level view, let's dive down a little bit. We have a little bit of time. Let's talk a little bit more and examine some of the specifics about the California economy. First of all, I want to just talk a little bit about the overall financial health. Now, I mentioned that today is the May Revise Day, the day that the governor reveals his budget. And as of March, the state's total available borrowable resources has reached over $80 billion. Now, that's just what we have at our disposal. Senator Hertzberg talked a little bit about, he called him Governor Moonbeam, but also more formally Governor Brown. He had some infinite wisdom and some good insight, and that was, let's set up a fund to put money in for a rainy day. And quite honestly, that rainy day fund is saving our ass right now as we go through the highs and lows and the fluctuation of this budget crisis that we're in. So we're very grateful for that wisdom that has allowed us that space to be able to make our monthly obligations. We do have the money to pay our bills, to pay our debt now and well into the future. But what we're dealing with the crisis that we're dealing with right now is looking to balance out. When I talk about our bills, I mean like our retirees, the unfunded liability, making sure that we're paying our state employees. That is first and foremost. The controller has the unique position to kind of sit at the top. It's what we call it, Fiona. You got the Department of Finance, you got the Treasury, you have the Controller's Office. We are control agencies. Thank you very much. I always forget that terminology. But that means we're controlling the money and the information and the access to it. So while we're talking about the budget deficits, that could be a little bit of downer, but there is a little bit of economic hope. Personal income tax was 11.2% higher than what was expected. That's important because that is our lifeblood when it comes to the budget. We need people to be working so that we can tax them and get that money back, and then redistribute it when it comes to roads, when it comes to fire suppression, when it comes to libraries or public schools. So this is an important revenue stream. The personal income tax receipts did outperform the governor's budget expectations. The United States inflation is down 3.5% as of March compared to where it was this time last year at 9.1%, which was the peak in June of 2022. So California has officially made up for the job losses that were reported during the pandemic, and single-family prices for their homes are actually stabilizing. So people are still realizing their value in their property. So this is not a bad economic picture. I want to shift and I want to talk and close out our discussion around investments. Now, do we have any investment professionals in the room today? Anyone interested in investment? Anyone want some money? Anyone want an investment? Oh, yeah, there you go. I knew that would wake you up. Well, the treasurer and I sit on two very large boards that have a combined value of about $760 billion. That's CalPERS and CalSTRS. And this is the nation's largest public pension funds. And CalPERS, we are updating some of our labor principles that we are going to be expecting to see in the June board meeting. And the labor principles are just setting a set of guidelines that are saying, Company A, if you would like CalPERS to invest in you, here are a list of criteria that we expect. No child labor, the elimination of all forced or compulsory labor. We want work environments to be safe and harassment-free. So that, believe it or not, has been a pretty controversial topic, but we are going to be looking forward to a vote in June. So, you know, when you're talking with a multi-billion-dollar checkbook in your hand, companies are listening. And so that is how we're able to shape some of the policy and the policy priorities of the companies that we are investing in. We also collaborate with stakeholders such as the pension plan members. We do collaboration work with unions and advocacy groups and regulators just so that we can amplify our voice so that our investments are also having a positive impact on the community or the environment that we are investing in. So I just want to close out and say thank you for allowing me to be here. I don't know if we have time for questions, but I would love to take a couple at this time. My name is Malia Cohen, and I'm your controller.
Not quite yet.
Okay, next question.
Nice to meet our new treasurer. Malia, thank you first off for the amazing energy. It's tough to get through these days. Secondly, as a small startup in technology changing the way the world reads specifically, that is a global problem. Not to mention 1 in 3 people are neurodiverse. That's 2.6 billion people, and we're solving that problem. It's a personal pain point for me. How do we get connected? I don't have the ability to fill out your forms. I have someone who can, but I've tried to get certified as a female-owned, as well as we have 2 founders on our team that are considered disadvantaged founders. We'd like to partner with you, and we'd like to change the way people can interact with government documents and read.
Oh my God, thank you very much. I appreciate your comment/statement, because this is exactly why I got into office. One of the things that I talked about was how dense the Controller's Office website is. how you almost need a PhD to understand the concept, the information that is up there. We are in the process of revamping that website, and I would welcome your feedback on it. I think as an able-bodied person, and we have a lot of able-bodied people in positions of power, that is how we're looking at through the lens. So your feedback would be critical, and I will make sure I get your contact information before I leave. We are also noting that we are supporting small businesses, and there was a law that the governor signed just last year that required a 25% of all business opportunities be set aside for minority and small women and small business owners. So we have many technology initiatives that are unfolding and engaging in this controller's office that we have set aside 25% for people to compete with and to be able to break down. And that is our contribution to make sure that we are supporting people that are not always at the table. Yeah, thank you very much. Alexis really doesn't need a mic. Just.
I'll just lower down a bit.
Okay.
So our controller, our future treasurer, when we have our future lieutenant governor.
Right.
Yes. Okay, so, I've been in the circuit of course, state pension funds investments. One thing, I noticed is that if you look at other countries, right, like the rising countries like Singapore, Hong Kong, or other economic hubs, what they do is that they really put out policies and investment vehicles, investment sources as their public communication, right, to attract foreign investment, attract domestic investments. One thing that I noticed is given the fact that we are the fourth largest, hopefully soon third largest economy in the world, I don't recall seeing a lot of proactive and also kind of easy to understand communication on a regular basis so that people understand, like, you go to forums like this and you find out, oh my God, that's available. Oh, we have grants like this, or, we have this. It's like a mystery. And it's like a sea of mystery that, oh my God, when I start a business, I have this, and that, and this that's a channel. So it's like you said, you need a PhD.
You do.
We were just recently...
Or a lobbyist or a lawyer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That charges 10x of what you could have navigated on your own with AI and with other technology tools. So we're in California, the hub of innovation. Why don't we use these tools to promote California when the Texas and the whatever other state, South Dakota, is trying to get companies to move there? Yeah. Why don't we use technology, use the brains here to develop these tools and make people understand there's so much resources and so much investments available, and also assistance resources that we can help these companies to start, to grow, and expand.
Yeah, that is an incredible, that was a statement, certainly not a question. Let me begin to unpack that layer by layer. First of all, when you are the biggest game in the room, you don't have to bend over backwards to help people. And I believe that is the attitude that California has. CalPERS and CalSTRS, $760 billion. We're not hurting for business. But when you have people, trustees that are at the table that are being intentional, targeting emerging markets, targeting emerging manager programs, supporting emerging managing programs, supporting women, LGBTQ, this is the direction that the world is going in. And people can resist. But this is the direction where inclusivity and diversity is yielding positive dividends, meaning that the data shows that when you have more diverse investors, you make more money. And in terms of these plans, that's the only thing that we're concerned with was delivering for our plan and our members. I agree with you that it is, sometimes the system is arcane, meaning literally paper to pen. And I agree that you often need to hire someone to help you navigate or have them use their context to help you gain access. And I fundamentally disagree with that. I think that government should be accessible to everyone. And so the steps that I'm taking is trying to demystify, like I said, our website, putting a translate button on the website so that people who don't speak English or English as a second language is also able to file. When I think about the Franchise Tax Board, businesses that are doing their workings in the state of California need to have access to this information, should be able to file in their native tongue. So these are all projects that are underway. These are huge technology projects, though. So if there are technology companies in this room, I would encourage you to go to the Franchise Tax Board. You can come to the Controller's Office, as well as when RFPs are released, that notifies you. The way we communicate, because we don't have robust budgets, is through emails and listservs. And we need you to engage with us so we can collect your information so that we can disseminate opportunities out into the world. It is not the most efficient way, but that is the restrictions that I have at my disposal right now. Unless someone wants to donate their service and their technology, then we could talk about it. Well, that is great, because we are looking to be game changers. We are not looking to perpetuate the way business has been conducted. I think that's what happens when you elect women.
Just one provocative thought for the state of California is our state is soon to be led by 3 powerful women on the top 3 spots. Very soon, sooner than you think.
Yeah.
How about make sure that all the women get a seat at the table so that they understand what is available, so that they understand that they are empowered to be an equal voice and have equal access to funding, to resources, to policies, to make sure that businesses and boards that are led by both men and women can succeed here in California. Women need to be empowered, and it starts from you guys.
Thank you. And thank you, Alexa. That deserves applause. I also want to acknowledge the men that are in the room that are our allies. Don't be afraid, boys, okay? We still need you on the team. We still need you, okay? You are not obsolete. We are not banishing you. We want you to be here. But what Alexis is saying is that you're mindful that we've got talent everywhere. Thank you.
Can I just add something?
Okay.
Can I just add? This is my. We call ourselves the goddesses of fortune, by the way. But she's like my little sister, and I'm very proud of her. And so she will be running for state treasurer next in 2026. I'll be running for state lieutenant governor, because we all have term limits. But we also have the Secretary of State, Dr. Shirley Weber. She is a very strong woman. And at CalPERS and CalSTRS, they're both run by women. So it's not necessarily who runs the organization, but it is who is in the organization, because they are civil servants. They also want to do 25 years in government, and we only come and go 4 or 8 years. So we need all of you to also lobby, okay? It's not enough for us. If we say something and nobody's standing behind us, well, then, the staff just says, well, okay, that's their idea, but we don't have to do it. So we really need you to all get involved. Thank you.